why do I need to authenticate my birth certificate? Okay, so I see a lot of people have a misconception about what's going on here as far as the step of the whole process and getting your freedom, becoming what might be called a secure party creditor, non-citizen national, anything that has to do with basically having your diplomatic immunity and your independence. So this part about having your birth certificate authenticated is definitely necessary in the process, although a lot of people they don't really get why you would need to do this or when you would need to do this. Because when I tell you there's multiple parts to this process, it's a whole jigsaw puzzle and there's so many pieces to it, and a lot of people don't have the whole thing. So we really got to work together, and make sure you do your research before you just start going out and taking action and stuff, because you can get yourself in some serious legal trouble if you submit the wrong paperwork the wrong way and whatnot. So anyway, when you are to the point to where you already got your common law copyright, aka you got your name copyright written, and you're ready to file your UCC1 financing statement, right? So we got to know that the real reason why we got to have our birth certificate authenticated is to, one, prove that we're alive, right? Because it's called a certificate of live birth. That's the one you actually have to have authenticated. It's not the same thing as your general birth certificate that you probably already got your hands on. So you have to actually order your certificate of live birth. But when you order it from vitalcheck.com, that's vitalchek.com, when you order it, it's probably not gonna say anything like certificate of live birth. It's just going to say birth certificate. So if you don't know the right way to order it, they're going to send you the wrong one. You don't need an apostille to do this. If you use the wrong kind of certificate of live birth, or should I say the wrong kind of certificate, you're not going to be doing this process the right way, and ain't nobody going to help you. So you got to be able to really know that you know what you're doing before you even start taking actions in this. So look, this is what you need to know. You need to go on VitalCheck, get your certificate of live birth by applying for it by saying you need the one that's for legal purposes, or click on the reason being legal purposes, or you could say that you want the long form. But last time I bought mine, it said long form. I mean, it didn't say long form. My bad. It didn't say long form. I clicked on legal purposes and I got the right one. All right, you got to send that thing to the Secretary of State, and you got to send it to the Department of State. There's two different forms of authentication. You got to get it authenticated on the state level and the federal level, okay? This only matters once you actually got your stuff together as far as the other step. Like, once you already got your paperwork in order, once you got the package that basically is going to copyright your name, because mind you, the whole thing about this is you're stopping somebody else from being able to make money off of your name, because that's what's going on here. So anytime that they send you a bill, they're making money off your name. They send a bill, they got your name in all capital letters. So you're going to actually own the copyrights to your name in all capital letters. That's why, or when you do this, that's making it to where nobody can even try to put a lien on you or your property or anything that you own, so that nobody gets paid before you get paid, because you're going to put $100 million lien on yourself, aka on the straw man or the name in all capital letters or any other form in which your name can be used, which it can be used in a lot of different ways. It can be your first letter, second initial, and then full last name, like a whole lot of variations, okay? But regardless, you got to make sure you know how to do this. I'm going to show you on another video how to actually see the paragraph, or how to write the paragraph on your UCC1 financing statement. There's plenty of other videos on that, but I'm going to make one myself. But there's so many details you have to know before you actually start taking action. Do not just jump into this, because I promise you, you got to know the specific order on how to do this stuff. You got to know what to do and when to do it, how to do it. Like, when I tell you, it's so much. So don't just watch a couple YouTube videos, think you're ready to start spending money and taking action and stuff. You're going to screw yourself up. I've been studying this stuff for years before I even started taking one action. And now that I feel like I'm at the position to where, all right, I actually know how this works. I can actually tell people about my experiences and stuff and what I did and my successes. And if I had any failures, I tell y'all about that too. But yes, take this seriously, be patient, and study. This ain't something you're going to learn everything in one day, bruh. Check this out. All right, so this is the collateral paragraph for my UCC1 financing statement. This is an example for you guys. Of course, I covered up all of the stuff that's sensitive information. All right, so if you don't even know what this is about, basically, this is the notice of lien that you are filing against your straw man, aka your name in all capital letters, and you're taking control of it. All right, you filing $100 million lien on you. That should cover everything you ever own in life. And if there's something that you need to add to this later, then you need to add it via the UCC3. So if you buy a new house, you add this to your collateral. Okay, so you add your house to a UCC3, add it to this, and then that's how you do that. All right, bet. So look, this, like, you can obviously read it and whatnot. I'm just going to tell you the stuff that you might not understand. All right, so this right here is your name, regular uppercase. So if your name is John Doe, capital J, lowercase OHN, middle name, we got the same concept. It's just capital first letter, lowercase rest of the letters for each name. You know, the regular name way you write your name. The debtor is full capital letters, all capital letters, all right? Okay, so then you got your certificate of live birth. You got to know what the document says. So, I mean, obviously, once you get your certificate of live birth, it'll have that number on the top of it. Okay, if you got a driver's license, put that in there. Because remember, you're putting everything you ever own in here, every contract you ever that you ever agreed to, and all that stuff. Because until you get paid this $100 million, you know, on paper, from this entity, this all capital letters name, until you get paid, nobody else can get paid. You first in line, first in time. All right, so anyway, keep on going. This right here is your social security number with dashes. This your wait, let me check, make sure that is all right. Yeah, so that exemption ID, that's your social security number without dashes. Okay, so then you got the QSIP number right here. That QSIP number, that's your social security number without dashes. There is a difference between putting dashes and not having dashes. Okay, security agreement number. You come up with that yourself. You make that junk up. What I did was I put some numbers, the date that it was for me, and then I just put / and then my 3 initials. All right, power of attorney number, you make that up as well. You basically being like a CPA at this point. So mind you, all of this stuff, you're doing all of this so that you can ultimately be a private banker and you can get yourself unlimited credit. You can write unlimited credit and you can access your trust, all the money that's in your trust, your sets to QV trust. But that's another subject for another time as well. But all of this is about discharging debts. You know, you're being a bank. You're doing all of this so that you can be a bank. And you hold the lien on yourself so that you can make sure that you actually have control of all the money that you need to have access to in your lifetime. All right. So right here, we got the power of attorney number. We got the whole harmless indemnification agreement. If you don't know what that is, you need to do some more research because you need to have all of this stuff already together, all of it signed, all of it done properly because you're going to file this stuff. You're going to actually file it at the county recorder office that you live in. Mind you, you need to do this stuff in the state that you were born, okay? Keep that in mind, the state that you were born in and the state that you reside in. All right, so that's just in case that wasn't clear. Okay, so we got the copyright notice. You come up with that yourself. And then right here, your birth certificate number, of course, it's at the top of your certificate of live birth. All right. Everything else is self-explanatory. I'm controlling everything from my own mind, body, and soul, okay? Yes, somebody else could have the rights to your DNA if you don't claim it. That's why they can do something like take your child from you, like Child Protective Services, because if you don't have a lien already on your stuff, if your parents sold you into this stuff and they didn't ever bother to do this paperwork right, that means they gave up the rights to you. Somebody else, aka this governmental entity, aka the United States Corporation, owns that child. So when you turn 18, you were supposed to get yourself together and you're supposed to be able to be competent enough to know how to carry yourself in law. All right. So anyway, they call that age 18. They call that the age of majority. But anyway, keep on going. We got all of this stuff. You could simply just read this right here. All this stuff is your name in as many variations as you can think of. I'm talking about John H. Doe, all capital letters. J. H. Doe, freaking John Henry Doe in all capital letters, etc. You think of every variation you could think to write your name in, and you put it there. And then at the end, you put your name in all capital letters with just the first and last name as well. Of course, it doesn't really matter the order that you do it in right here, as long as you just put every variation that they could possibly do. If you wanted to, you could just look at all the bills you got, if you got a lot of bills, and you could see all the different variations that they write your name in whenever they send you a bill. Because, of course, they're sending bills to your straw man. They're not actually sending it to you. They're sending it to this artificial entity. So anyways, continuing on. Let me scroll up for you. And this is the bottom of it. All right. So I hope this helps somebody. Of course, customize this to the way that you see fit. You need to put all your property in here. Your houses, your cars, all of that stuff, bro. All of that. This don't have all of my cars and all that stuff on there, even though I do got a lot of cars. But yeah, so this was back before then. So anyway, hope this helped y'all.